grew up with Mortal Kombat in the arcades. It was the first fighting game that introduced me to blood. The graphics seemed almost real. I was used to Street Fighter, but after Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter seemed a bit too tame. Mortal Kombat took risks, and even as a kid, I appreciated it. I also appreciated that we had to learn to do fatalities by simply playing the game. They weren't locked away in some treasure chest, and you didn't have to pay extra for them. You just had to learn how to pull them off. Fatalities were all the rage in Mortal Kombat. I guess they still are. In the arcades, after the battle was done and the match was won, it was expected that the player would finish with a fatality. Whenever one wasn't pulled off, it was a total letdown, almost to the point where the outcome of the match didn't even matter anymore. But then there was those times when some kid would pull off their brand new fatality, and the crowd of kids would just jump and scream out of excitement. It was esports at a local level. The smart kids would look at their hands as they pulled off the fatalities in order to figure out the moves themselves. But that was back then, back when video games were young, when I was young. Now that I'm older, wiser, I see what Mortal Kombat has become. I noticed it with Mortal Kombat X. It was called the Crypt. It was a place where you could unlock some cool stuff. The Crypt had fatalities, costumes, and other things you could unlock with XP and currency that you earned through playing the game. At first it seemed pretty neat, but then all I could see was the grind. Grind to pull off the cool moves and fatalities that you were used to from before. What once was just learned, now has to be unlocked. I believe all moves should be available from the beginning. The more the player plays, the more he learns. Either way, all moves are there from the start. That may be an old way of looking at fighting games. Maybe I've been away from the genre for too long, but I don't want to grind in order to unlock moves, and I definitely don't want to pay for them. After playing Mortal Kombat 10, I was cautious with the release of Mortal Kombat 11. Just like you, I wanted to wait for some reviews and impressions from my favorite YouTubers. I can trust a few for honest reviews, others for just shit and giggles. The game is awesome, I hear. The actual game, the gameplay, the graphics, the art direction, the music. The game is a great game, but the greed behind it is not. The Crypt is where all the dirty secrets are kept. The Crypt is a grind fest. A grind fest that encourages you to spend real money to unlock your favorite moves, the fatalities you want to use. And that's after spending $60 on the full retail game. For somebody who doesn't care to learn all the fatalities, then they may not have a problem with this practice. For someone who doesn't buy many games, maybe someone younger with an allowance, they may like the Crypt and the grind it provides. I can see the merit. But for someone who has an unlimited budget for games they want to play, I can't seem to find myself paying for this game. Especially for a fighting game at $60 with insane grind or a paywall. I don't have time to grind. And how dare you charge me for stuff in the game after I just bought the game? Instead of remembering putting quarters on the arcade cabinet screen, letting peeps know that I was up next, let the best player win. It's a bummer what I will remember now. I now have to include something worse than just microtransactions. Artificial grind for microtransactions' sake. Even though Mortal Kombat has been part of my life since it was released, I won't be part of it, and it's that simple really. This is business, not personal, and I don't like the business practices behind Mortal Kombat. Make it free to play if you want to include all the grind and microtransactions, not a $60 game. Not anymore. For those of you who say it's a necessary evil, I call bullshit. Look at the financials, it's not. But that's just me, I have choices. And I choose to buy my games from studios and developers who respect both the player's time and money.